Hey everybody, it's Savannah here from Savvy in Space, and today we're going to do things a little bit differently. Instead of talking about astronomy while I do my makeup, we're going to do my makeup and then talk about astronomy in a second part to this video. Let me know how you like this setup, and let's get started. First things first, I'm going to go in with my Touch and Soul Glassy Skin Balm and prime and prep my skin. Now this stuff leaves you absolutely glowing and it helps your foundation go on a little bit easier. I'm definitely one who, instead of using like mattifying primers or pore refining primers, I always use something very, very hydrating. Because my skin is so dry. I need all the moisture I can get. Alright, see? Can you see that glow? Just a little bit of sheen. I love it. The look that we're going for today is going to be a look that I throw together at the last minute. So if I'm, rushing to head out the door, but I still have time to do my makeup, this is sort of a go-to look I have. Or when I'm not feeling anything creative and I just want to get my makeup done, I just want to look nice, this is a go-to look for me. It's going to be like a mustardy, olivey kind of look. Alright. For foundation today, we're going to go in with the Maybellline Fitme Matte and Poreless in the 112 Natural Ivory. I love this new packaging they came out with. I think it's so cute. Alright, so there's the foundation. I really like this one. Well, okay, I suppose it's not my favorite because I don't usually go for a matte foundation, but sometimes I appreciate the little bit of extra coverage it can give me, and this one is really good and really cheap. It's, I know it's under $10. I can't remember the exact price on the top of my head. But it's good. I think the shade's right for me. I always have trouble picking out shades, especially now because all we can do is go on the internet. There's no swatching. It's not like you could swatch drugstore stuff anyway. Alright, I'm going to go in with an oldie but a goodie for my bronzer. I'm going to go in with the Physician's Formula Butter Bronzer. As you can see, this one I've definitely hit pan on. It's maybe one of the only products I've hit pan on, but like I said, if I'm trying to throw together a look and I don't quite know what to do, these are my go-tos. I'm using a, what's it called? $1 Billion brush, the dual-ended one. And I use the flat top, like angled kabuki side for my bronzer. I pick up quite a bit. This bronzer is in the shade light, so I need to go a little bit heavier. Now remember, when you're applying bronzer, the very first tap that you put down is going to be where the product is most pigmented. So you always want to start there first and then blend out. I used to make the mistake of like dipping in and then just streaking it on my face first, but I kind of learned my lesson. I like to put it right in the hollow of my cheek and then blend. And then we gotta do something about this big ass forehead, so bronzer helmet, here we come. I love the smell of this stuff. And funny thing, my fiance loves the smell of this stuff too. He always says my face smells good when I wear it. Now another thing I like to do, sort of a little bit of a trick with my bronzer, if I'm going for something more natural, or I don't know, just when I feel like it and I'm not going for a colorful eyeshadow look, I like to take the other end of this brush, to go in with my bronzer, and do sort of a pseudo nose contour. I don't feel like I need to contour my nose, but I do like adding dimension and depth between my brow bone and where the nose bone is. So I just go in there and I hit it with a little bit of bronzer. See the difference? I hope you can see the difference on camera. I'm just going in with the good old-fashioned drugstore classics today. I didn't even mean to pick out so many like drugstore face products. It just happened that way. These are my go-tos. For blush, I'm going in with the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in the shade Pearlescent Pink. This was one of the first blushes I ever bought because of an influencer on Instagram. I don't know if any of you guys watched YouTube back when Manny MUA first started, but he used to rave about this blush and it caused me to go buy it. And then I wound up loving the formula so much, I bought most of the shades. And what, it's like $2.99. You can't beat that. Now I'm going to be applying my e.l.f. Camo Hydrating Concealer in the shade Light Peach. Now I found this concealer to run decently light. So normally when I choose concealer or any complexion products, I fall well into the fair category. But in this one, I needed to go into the second darkest light shade, which is very rare for me. In no other complexion products do I need to go into the light range. I'm always fair. So just worth noting, the first camo concealer I bought from e.l.f., I needed to adjust the shade. It just was way too light. However, the matte version of this is a very close dupe, in my opinion, to the Tarte Shape Tape. I also just take it onto my eyelids to clear out any of the veins and discoloration or staining from yesterday's eyeshadow to prep myself for today's eyeshadow. Today we're going to use a mustard color in the crease. I'm going to be using Totally Buggin by Colourpop. This one's decent. It's not really that pigmented, which is something I like about it because I like to use this mustard color just to, well, transition it into my my skin color. So that's Totally Buggin by Colourpop. For the crease and the main crease shade, I'm going to be taking Savage by Gimme Glow Cosmetics. It's a beautiful olive green. Any olive green will work. And to deepen it up, I'm going to use Americano by Gimme Glow Cosmetics. It's a very deep, cool tone brown. Again, any deep, cool tone brown will do. This look is especially great for fall. And then here, this is a Spring Fling by Gimme Glow Cosmetics. And what it is it's a little bit of a duochrome, but it has sort of a green base with a significant like gold shimmer in it. So it really gives this kind of cool, grungy feel to the look, as opposed to just using a plain gold. I love to use golds that have just a little bit of a green flip to it. Here we go into the crease. I'm using a large tapered crease blush. Every time I try to say blush, I said brush. Now when I'm trying to say brush, I say blush. I hope you know what I mean. I'm taking this thing, a tapered this thing, and I'm going to be putting it in the, sort of the socket of my eye and making windshield wiper motions in order to get it to blend well. Now I'm going to go in with the olive shade in my crease, just put it below everywhere that the mustard color is. And to do this, I'm just going to apply the shadow with the same shaped brush as I did before, but this one is a little bit smaller for a little bit more targeted application. And whereas with the first shade, I just sort of like slapped it on and didn't really care about precision, with this, I'm going to be packing it firmly and then blending around the edges. Whereas the transition shade, I just sort of wanted a wash of color. This, I really want this to be the main crease color, so I'm going to like dab first, pack, and then try to blend. I follow sort of a natural wing shape here. All right. That's looking pretty good. That's looking about how I want it. Later, when I'm all done with the look, I'll go back in with that mustard color and really blend out the edges, but for now I'm okay. I'm going to be taking a much smaller packing brush. This one's from Morphe. It is the Morphe M152. I freaking love this thing. It came with the James Charles brush set. Regardless of what you think about him, he curated a really good brush set. All right, now I'm going in with a dark, cool tone brown, and I'm really just gonna focus this right on the outer corner just to give a little bit more depth. Now, sometimes I go a little overboard with this step, especially if I'm just trying to get ready for work and I make it too dark, but oh well. And I always make sure to tap off my brush. I dip in and then tap to sort of minimize fallout. Fallout. Time for the shimmer shade, obviously the most exciting part. I know this might be a little bit extra, but I'm going to go in with the NYX Glitter Primer just on where I want the glitter shade, not the glitter shade, but the shimmer shade, just to give it that extra little punch. This isn't always necessary, but I find sometimes it's what really makes the big difference. I try to put the primer where I want my shimmer, so I try not to get it too much on that very deepest outer corner shade that I put on. All right, now for the main event, Spring Fling, this beautiful greeny goldy color. Now, I'm the kind of girl who likes to put on my shimmer shadows with my finger. I find that I get too much fallout with brushes, so I don't use them. I like to use my middle finger typically in order to apply. If you're really trying to be delicate with your eye because you're worried about like tugging and pulling in that force, I recommend going in with your ring finger, as that is the finger that you can apply the least amount of pressure with, and it will be the most gentle on your eyes. Now with these Gimme Glow shimmers, I don't just like to sweep them on, right? I like to build them as much as possible. So with each little like stroke of my finger, I'm trying to cover just a very small area. And taking that time to really build it out makes a big difference. And it does with most foiled shades. Okay, now I'm going to go back through and reblend the olive shade. Just pick up a little bit more on my brush. Now finally, I'm going back in with the larger crease blot, the larger thing, and I'm gonna go in with the mustard. Again, just to sort of blend where the shimmer meets that dark outer shade, I like to go back in with the dark outer shade and just touch up the boundary a little bit. This is sort of the process I do no matter what colors I'm using. I like to use a transition shade, a crease shade, a darkening shade, and then a shimmer shade. And I typically will go back and build them back up. It's not like I'm just gonna apply the color once and just leave it. Typically throughout the process, I have to go back and forth with the different colors. Only thing left is, lower lash line. I'm going to, so sometimes I go in with that transition shade all underneath and then sort of do a pseudo liner with that middle crease shade, but I think today I'm just going to put that olive shade on the bottom lid. I don't feel like having the mustard color on my bottom lid. I'm going in with the small pencil-like brush. This one's a dual-ended brush from Kat Von D that I got free with purchase somehow. It's actually really good and vegan. All right, that should be the eye. I'm going to add the inner corner highlight when I highlight my face, because we'll just use the same thing. I find that to be the easiest thing for a go-to look. I'm going to do my liner and mascara, and I'll be right back. All right, so now both eyes are done. I love the way this looks. I did a very simple classic winged liner. I do this liner every single day. I honestly can't live without it. I think I've been doing the same liner look since I was in the 8th grade. I don't like to change it up, to be honest. Yeah, I like the way this turned out. This is a look that I feel very comfortable, very confident in, and I can always just sort of throw together. Now, it is time for highlight. I'm going to go in with another drugstore oldie but goodie, the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Blossom Glow. Now, this is, again, one of the only products I've ever hit pan on. I don't know if you guys can see, but up towards the top, there's a little bit of pan. This stuff is so good. I'm going to take some of it on this like pencil-like brush, and I'm going to be putting it on my inner corner, blending it a little bit up, and blending it a little bit onto the lower lash line, just so it wraps around a little bit. I think it's a little bit more flattering. For the face highlight, what I like to do is I like to do a more concentrated, more precise application first, and then with a smaller brush, and then I blend it out with a larger brush. So I'm going to take this same $1 billion brush and use the small end, and I'm going to very closely pinpoint this highlight. Going in with a slightly larger brush, I'm going to blend this out here. I like to do these sort of sweeping motions and also circular motions to help buff it into the skin. I love the tone of this highlighter. If you're fair like I am, this is such a perfect mix of like a pinky, icy, but not too icy, but not too pink. Just the perfect color. This is Blossom Glow. And the formula is great. I will say it doesn't last quite as long as my high-end highlighters, but hey. All right. Oh, wait, don't forget the nose. Just a little bit, just a little bit. Okay. For lips today, I'm gonna go in with my Gerard Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Nude. Nude. All right, that's the lip liner. For lipstick, this is actually in my current project pan. I'm trying to see how long it actually takes me to go through an entire mini lipstick. I've never finished up a lip product that wasn't chapstick. So we're gonna see how this goes. This is a mini lipstick by MAC. It's in the color Sea Sheer. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous pinky, nudie, beautiful rosy color. And it's sheer and it's slightly hydrating, so I love it. I also think the mini size is perfect for getting my Cupid's bow. Like the point of the bullet fits right there. I love it. There we go. I feel like it makes my lips look so juicy and healthy. I just love this color. I think it's ultra flattering. So we'll see if I can use it up. I wonder how long it's gonna take. What do you guys think? I bet 9 months to a year. And that's if I don't give up. All right, that concludes the makeup look. Like I said, this is something that is my go-to, my standard look. Your standard look doesn't have to be, you know, olives and mustards, but for me, that's what I feel most comfortable and confident in. I know a lot of people like to go with bronzes and golds. Some people like to go with, you know, mauves and pink tones, but this is what I feel the most comfortable in. I definitely recommend developing a quick eye routine that you can always slap on and feel pretty and good about yourself. If you are interested in the science that I suggested earlier in the video, please stick around for part 2 so we can get to the astro part. I think you'll like it, and hopefully you'll learn something too. Bye guys.